Super Bowl 60 in the books. James, raw reaction. The game just wrapped up. That was a fun Super Bowl for those that enjoy defense and Mike Tirico, who loves special teams, but neither quarterback played very well, and
Nope.
the Seahawks dominate 29-13, and they are the champs. James,
Yeah,
what you got to say?
dude, I'm telling you, for a minute I thought Jake Meyers, the kicker for Seattle, was going to win MVP because that's just what it looked like.
He had a case.
He had a case for a little bit, and then the defense had a case. And man, if it wasn't for that, well, Kenneth Walker still won it, so I ain't worried about it. But because he was a baller, but I'm not gonna lie, man, Drake May, man, played like February, man, cold, man, and that's just what it was like, man. He brought that AFC Championship, Drake May, to San Fran, and just could not get it. But then again, it's not all totally his fault. There was a few drop passes from his receivers. His offensive line got eaten alive.
Yeah, 6 sacks for the Seahawks. Could have been 7, but they ended up ruling that what I think it should have been a fumble, but they ended up calling that an interception, a pick 6.
Yeah.
That ended up that defensive touchdown. For those that care, otherwise it would have been a Super Bowl record for most sacks in a Super Bowl. The Seahawks defense, we knew that going into the game that they were one of the most dominant groups in the entire NFL, but they really put the pen to paper there. And yeah, James, this was something I'm not going to sit here and say I told you so, but I did tell you so. If y'all watched last week, I was on this. The Seahawks were just top to bottom too good.
Yeah.
And when you see that like on paper in a Super Bowl, when it's just one game, it's hard to look away from that. And I think that's what we saw play out.
Yeah, no, I was talking with a few sports bettors in the Virginia area at the Rivers Casino, and everyone's asking who you going for, who you doing. And the only thing I could ever say, Spence, eye test tells me Seattle, but the line doesn't move for 2 full weeks. Every trend, not every trend, but most trends falling on the Patriots. If you believe in, teams that wear white are pretty good, teams that did this are da-da-da-da-da. And the line told you it should have been New England in a low-scoring battle, which was almost the under. I bet the under sweater. The people who bet the under was sweating because at first it was like 12 points in the fourth, and it was like, hey, it's over. To drop 30 points in that fourth quarter is like, holy crap, man, we almost lost this. Yeah. But in all honesty, no, I'm not gonna lie, Spence. It's just one of those things where, like, if Philly was in there, I would have just bet Philly, not even giving a crap about trends or this and that. And I think I would have went Seattle if the point spread would have had bumped up to like 6 or 7, because then you knew, hey, the Patriots are really outmatched. But the line stayed at 4.5, and it fooled me just like it fooled a lot of other people. I don't know if you keep up with the sports betting community on Twitter, Spence, but like we had the dude Trent from Pickett Sports betting the Seahawks, and he's always been the fade god. And then you had Drake, who's always been the Drake curse guy, betting on New England. So it was like, I didn't know who to go for.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. And Trent from Pickett Sports, the Mr. Fade God, man, he won. Yeah, that's just how it
got a lot
down.
of coin tonight.
He got a lot of coin. But in all honesty, Spence, we talked about it earlier. Drake May is the main reason why this happened. Yeah, you can blame a good 25-40% on the offensive line, but at the end of the day, Drake May gave the Seahawks 17 points. And if you want to play hypothetical, the Patriots only lost by 16. And so what could have happened if Drake May would have just had a clean pocket? Because I'm not going to blame the Patriots defense at all. They played a hell of a game. Yeah, they couldn't stop Kenneth Walker, but at the end of the day, their running backs getting off on y'all, and you're allowing field goals, and your defense played well. I'm definitely not blaming you for the 10 points that Drake May screwed up. Yeah, but other than that, they played well. I just hate that you had 2 weeks, Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, and to not have any
there was no creativity. They were very bland tonight.
Yeah.
It was very bland. And that's what I kept hearing that be said. Oh, they've got the experience. It's Josh McDaniels. He knows a thing or two.
He should.
They were cooking meth out there. They were the meme where it's like, what are they cooking? And it's 2 pieces of white bread and some ketchup and some deli meat. And that's what they were cooking, because it was just very plain. It wasn't very exciting at all. And, of course, they didn't score a single point until the fourth quarter. And they decided that Mac Hollins, hey, wide receiver 1, Mac Hollins, because Stephon Diggs no-showed most of the night.
Demario Douglas was pretty pretty decent, but yeah, you're right. Mac
5
Hollins.
for 45. Yeah, I would call that as decent as it gets. Keyshawn Boutte, he was the darling that got you here. 1 for 21. Is this the receivers just being lackluster? Drake May, 27 of 43. A sneaky 295 through the air. 2 touchdowns, of course, 2 interceptions, the 6 sacks. Actually finished with a better passer rating than Sam Darnold, for what that's worth. But Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion.
Gosh, yeah, that one.
Can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I will say I am glad, though, he did not win MVP, because guess what that means, bro? You know what that – hey, this – I'm not saying he's on the same level as this guy, but remember when Steph didn't win none of those MVPs in the finals, and it was like, bro, he not up there unless he wins one. And now Sam Darnold – he's a Super Bowl champ, and people are going to come at us saying, eat crow, I told you so. He was not the best player on the field.
Not.
And we talked about it, Spence, and I know we'll dive into this a little deeper. Last year, we saw the Eagles win, and we were like, is this going to be the new dynasty and X, Y, and Z? Now we got to play this game with Seattle just because of the cap space they have.
Right.
Coming off a Super Bowl champ, you have a defense that was freaking played the best I've ever seen since the Legion of Boom's defense, the Eagles defense last year, and they played dominant. And for them to have at least, I think it's 70 to 79 million of available cap space. And I know we talked about it earlier. I don't know if they'll still sign Kenneth Walker, but he just earned a good contract somewhere. Spence, do you see Seattle being the next dynasty in football?
I'm going to say no. Here's why. One, they do have a lot of cap space right now. They do have a lot of names they need to pay, and guys that they're probably not going to blow all their cap on this year because they have part of their cap earmarked for future years when guys like Devon Witherspoon, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Sam Darnold, right? These are guys that are going to get paid here in the coming years. You got to keep some space allotted for those guys. But also, I got to be honest, for me, I look at the division they're in with the Rams, with the 49ers. I'm not calling anyone in that division a dynasty with how dangerous all of those teams are. It's going to be like one of those teams is guaranteed to miss the conference championship every year. And that's a failure for all three of those teams, is missing that level of the playoffs at this stage for those three teams. But for this year, the Seahawks reign supreme. They have the potential of a dynasty. I'll give them that. Young coach, young quarterback who's playing well, strong defense that should carry over to next year. But it's hard to have dynasties. It's hard to have dynasties in the NFL, man. That's why, you know, hate them or love them, got to respect what we saw the Chiefs do not even that long ago.
Yeah, no, definitely an Overreaction Monday segment for sure.
We have no football for 8 months or 6 months, however you want to cut it, if you count the preseason and training camp and all that. We have 6 months. Yeah, we're going to get overreactionary on the weekend for sure.
Now, Spence, man, let me ask you this, man. After watching the Patriots' performance, what team are you more disappointed in the AFC? We had Josh Allen in there. We had the Texans, who had a tough defense. Of course, if Bo Nix would have been healthy, would they have been in the Super Bowl? Are there any teams in the AFC that you were probably felt a little bit more disappointed in just because of how the Patriots played? Maybe we could have had a better game either with another team.
Oh, 100%. I think we saw multiple teams in the AFC play the Seahawks tougher than what we saw the Patriots do tonight. Even the Texans, as bad as they were against New England in the playoffs, we saw them match up with the Seahawks. We did a live stream for that one. And the Texans, even though it was an ugly game, they held tough into the fourth quarter, deep in the fourth quarter, before the Seahawks put it to bed. But I think the Bills give them a more competitive game. I think the Texans give them a more competitive game. Broncos with a healthy Bo Nix, they're probably in there, and they probably would have had a real chance to win the whole thing as far as I'm concerned. I'd even say a team like the Jaguars, I think, probably competes more than what we saw from the Patriots tonight. I hate to say it, but I think the schedule thing came true tonight. I think we saw the Patriots be exposed a bit tonight. And every year, I'm big on this, James, every year there's a team that made the Super Bowl that the next year they have a hangover. Sometimes it's the team that wins. Sometimes it's the team that loses. This year, the team that's going to have the hangover is definitely going to be the Patriots. They're going to be playing a first-place schedule next year.
Yep.
You know, we got more film on Drake May. This team, I have a hard time seeing them replicate the amount of success they had this year. after what we saw, and they might have been a little bit overachievers at this point. It's easy to say. That's kind of my feeling right now. That is raw reaction when the game just ended a couple hours ago. And I'm a Drake May guy too. So that's a little tough for me to say, but man.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I'm expecting, of course, their win total probably in betting is going to be at 11.5. You're probably going to bet the under in the win totals next year because you mentioned you're going to get a first place schedule. The receiving core is just not there. I know the running back by committee. I just don't. We believe in Travion Henderson, but it just seems like the Patriots can't get away from Ramondre Stevenson. So I don't know what they're going to do. Of course, the offensive line, the whole left side of that offensive line, holy crap. They better start playing like I formation football next year just on that left side because they got killed.
Yeah.
And then at least you still have a defense and you still have some momentum coming over with Mike Vrabel. But yeah, I'm disappointed. Of course, I easily will say, man, the Bills dropped one on this one because they could have been in this situation. I do believe the Texans should have been in this situation. If CJ Stroud just didn't throw 4 picks, man.
If he throws
hell,
2, they're
he's gonna
probably
throw
in
2.
Take away the pick 6 and just one other interception that they got points off of. Texans are right
Yeah.
in that game.
Texans are
It
right.
still
in that
hurts.
game.
I definitely woke up this morning. I'm not gonna make it about myself, but
Yeah.
I woke up this morning like, man, it should have been us. Should
Yeah.
have been the Texans. Should have been out
Trust
there.
me. I'm with you. If I'm on the NFC side of things, I'm sick to the core if I'm an Eagles fan because you could have easily beaten either the Bears or the Rams. I know a lot of people would have put their money on the Rams, but you could have played the Patriots and won back-to-back Super Bowls. You had the same offense, except no Mekhi Becton. I know the other offensive line members were dealing with injuries. Like, I'm an Eagles fan, and I'm sick to my stomach because that could have been us winning an easy chip against the Patriots. But I'm with you, man. We'll see what happens. I will say this. I only throw out the Seahawks maybe being a dynasty because of that cap situation. But you're right. They got to sign other players. They're their top priority, and that's going to take a hit. And we'll see. It is weird saying that Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now, Spence, when it comes to Sam Darnold being a Super Bowl winning quarterback, are we putting him along the lines? I'm not going to say Joe Flacco because he actually won MVP, but are we putting him along the lines of like Trent Dilfer, some other quarterbacks that didn't win their MVP?
Even if he didn't get MVP, I really do feel like Sam Darnold played a game like Joe Flacco. Because I don't think Joe Flacco deserved that MVP. I thought Jacoby Jones deserved that MVP for the record. For anyone that remembers the original Ravens, the Harbaugh, Ravens versus 49ers in the Super Bowl, I felt like Jacoby Jones was the best player in that game. He had the long touchdown and he had the kick return. Like, making your mark on that game in that way, I think that was Jacoby Jones. So I would definitely say Sam Darnold played closer to that level than he did in like Trent Dilfer level. I thought Sam Darnold, he made some good throws. Like I said, Drake May had a better passer rating than Sam Darnold in this game. Sam Darnold, 19 of 38, 202 yards, and a touchdown, 2 carries for 5 yards. So nothing crazy, nothing world-beating there, but he did enough. And that's kind of what the story with Sam Darnold's been. They didn't ask him to go out and win a ton of games, but credit to him. He did that in the NFC Championship game. They asked him. They needed him to step up, and he did. Had a big game against the Rams, and they were able to just lean on Kenneth Walker, and that's how the Seahawks want to win games. They don't need to air it out a bunch. They don't want to do it that way. They want to win on the ground, and that's what they did. Kenneth Walker imposed his will, and he's going to make a big fat bag of money.
It's kind of like last year's Eagles team. Saquon goes for 2,000 and their defense. It was like the run game and the defense. It's crazy how like you always hear people say the game's in the trenches and you got to have great running game and this and teams still don't do that. Like they haven't either found those right pieces in the offensive line, haven't got a star or an emerging star in their running back game, and it's just crazy how that's the formula to a lot of issues. Just, hey man, just dominate the D-line, O-line, have a good run game. You control everything. You control possession. You control clock. You probably get the most first downs in the game. And then your defense. I'll give credit, man. That defense for Seattle, for them to be a team that's 70 to 80% a zone defense, for them to barely like rush 4 and just eat New England up. Like I said, it reminded me last year of Philly. It was like they didn't blitz all game. Philly didn't blitz all game, and they made Patrick Mahomes look like the Pat Mahomes in that Buccaneers Super Bowl when he got blown out. I know Seattle, man, they rushed forward. They freaking blitzed Witherspoon off the slot corner blitz. And yeah, I'm just disappointed in Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel not making any adjustments, not helping. Drake may get more protection. I know it's hard when you're down by so many points. You need 4 or 5 receivers to spread out the field, but then you can't.
They smelt blood in the water, so they were
Oh,
sending
yeah.
blitzes the whole second half.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they definitely did, and I hate it because for me, Spence, and I know I sent you I had the teaser, I had the 11.5 spread on the Patriots, and I had a couple chances, but Drake May screwed me in the end, and it happens. Spence, answer me this question: how critical were you on Mike Vrabel not going for 2? I know the game went a different direction, but when the Patriots scored and didn't go for 2, what were your initial thoughts on? Because Mike Tirico brought it up.
Oh yeah,
If you get the 2-point conversion, you're down by 3 and 11. You can get a field goal.
You know how I feel about this. I am always go for 2 because if you don't make it, then you know what you need to do anyways. But you kick the extra point, you have to do that no matter what. At least if you get the 2 points, all right, I made it a little easier on myself. Just kicking the 1, I didn't see the value there. Because you still needed the same thing either way.
Yeah, correct. Because if you go for 2, get the 2-point conversion, maybe get some momentum. You're only down by 2 possessions.
Correct.
But they went for the extra point, and then you just said, "All right, we're down by 3 possessions, and I pray my defense does something, and I pray my offense does something." I was very upset about that. Not because I had Patriots plus 11.5 and thought it could just be a 19-8 game and been okay, but no, I was disappointed in that play call as well, not going for 2.
Yeah, I'll say this. Couple of thoughts before we wrap up. Is this the first year in a very long time that the Super Bowl was not as fun as the Natty?
Yeah, I would say so.
Natty was way more fun than the Super Bowl this year.
The Natty, and I'll say it like this: the Natty was way more fun than the Super Bowl because we had like punt blocks, we had crazy touchdowns by quarterbacks. This game, it was just like, hey, it was a bit conservative. I know Sam Darnold threw the ball out a couple times. Christian Gonzalez
we had
played
12 points going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Piss fest for a lot of the game.
It was. Like I said, the kicker almost could have been the MVP. Like that's how bad this game was.
He definitely got votes.
Yeah, he definitely got votes. But yeah, no, it's been a while. Heck, even last year, of course, it was a sweat-free one for me and the Eagles, but it was a boring one.
But the Natty last year with Ohio State and Notre Dame was kind of
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm just saying like recent Super Bowls, like Super Bowl 58 was amazing because it went to OT last play. Super Bowl 57, Eagles
crazy.
Yeah,
James Bradbury.
James Bradbury. Damn you, ref. Actually, man, don't call defense a holding all day. Yeah, you call it the one play.
You could have gotten the refs from tonight. It's like hardly any penalties called the whole night. They really were letting them play out there.
They really let them play. Yeah, this year the Natty was definitely more exciting than the Super Bowl. To be honest, Spence, it was like that the whole 2 weeks. I swear nobody was really hyping this game up. It was people led it as like a David versus Goliath, and it's in San Francisco. Heck, I think Bad Bunny got more rap than this game leading up to it.
Yeah, that was my other thing. I was like, before we wrap up, what are your thoughts on Bad Bunny?
Man, I'll say this. Look, I didn't understand a word that mother said. That's all I know. And you know what? And I'm mad, not because I'm a white male and I'm an American. I am upset because I didn't hear Chambea.
Yeah, your bet did not hit there.
I was
Titi Me Pregunto. I got it right that time for y'all.
Yeah.
That was the first song. And he did Monaco.
He did Monaco.
But it wasn't the first one.
Yeah, it was not the first one. Yeah, I was upset. I did not hear Chambea. But other than that, of course, we all kind of expected it. We were just watching. You saw the stands. Like, no one's really vibing. Yeah. They're just looking because 90% of the people don't know what he's saying. Did he have some fine Latinas out there? Yes. Did he have some dudes grinding up on each other?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, hey, man, what are we doing? Hey, bro, watch it. Hey, did you catch any of the Turning Point USA halftime show at all?
I did not. Let's
be honest. Ain't no one actually flipped over at halftime to watch that damn Kid Rock concert.
Yeah.
Who did that? Who actually did that?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Turning Point USA, man, was reaching. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
we can all agree it was not the best choice halftime show for people who don't speak Spanish, of course, and you know how it is. We don't give a crap about soccer in the US, but the world does. We don't give a crap about Bad Bunny in the States, but the world does. And so we're going to see a lot. And guess what? I can't wait for the numbers to say the halftime show had 150 million
Yeah.
TPUSA 2
Oh, yeah.
million.
This is the correct position to take as a white person regarding the halftime show. It's okay if you want to say, I didn't enjoy it because I didn't understand any of the lyrics. Totally acceptable. It probably wasn't for you, but you're also not going to be like, I'm going to change the channel off the Super Bowl in the middle of the game and go watch Kid Rock. No one wants to watch Kid Rock that much.
No.
That's crazy.
No.
And look, and here's the other thing too. You may not understand any of the lyrics. The dude was vibing. It was definitely a vibe. Like,
It
you
was a
gotta
vibe.
feel it in your chest a little bit. You can
Yeah.
feel it in your chest, all right?
Yeah.
Gringos, this is the way to go, all right? Stop hating. You don't, but also, let me say this too. I guarantee you there's going to be some white person out there that's like, that was the best Super Bowl halftime show ever. It was so cultural and appropriate and inclusive, and I thought it was amazing. My favorite one of all time. All right, you need to chill out too. You know that type of person is going to be out there too.
Yep.
That is the incorrect take to have. You're trying too hard. You're pandering. It was fun, even if I didn't understand the lyrics.
Yeah, it was just what that Super Bowl was like any bachelorette party. You're going to Mexico. You don't know what the hell they're saying, except they hold up $1 and you can get 2 margaritas. And that's what you're doing. You're getting it, you're drinking it, and then you listen. Hey, I'm not going to lie, Spence. The Super Bowl for me, and my wife was upset when I said this. Bro, the vibes, the music, bro, all I needed was my chips and salsa and guac, bro. And I was at any Mexican restaurant, bro. Who cares?
Facts.
That's where I was, bro.
Facts.
And guess what? Where's my fajitas, bro? I would have sat there and had a great time.
Yeah, I would give an honest grade of a B-. I genuinely, for me, soy white boy, soy gringo, I give it a B-. I
B- is
enjoyed it.
good.
I had fun. My girl's Latina. She loved it. She was freaking out on the verge of tears. I was very happy for her. But stop being haters, you weirdos. Freaking, you want to watch Kid Rock? Are you kidding me? I can't believe they actually did that. And they actually ran it concurrent with the Super Bowl halftime show. It's like, what are we doing here, folks? What
Yeah.
are we doing?
Yeah.
Anything else, James?
No, man, not anything else. All I know is next year's Super Bowl in Los Angeles. Hopefully, of course, we get a good hard fought Super Bowl 61. Who do you think is going to Super Bowl 61?
Oh no. We'll have to do this as a later video. I'll give you Jets versus Cardinals.
There you go, man.
Jets versus
You
Cardinals.
know what? Let me get it out of the way, bro. Give me Browns versus Panthers, bro. Super Bowl 61 in Los Angeles.
Y'all let us know in the comments. What'd y'all think of the Super Bowl? What'd y'all think of Bad Bunny? And stay tuned to Big Game Energy. Even though we don't have any more football, sad music cued. We are shifting our focus fully to basketball. We'll be talking NBA. We'll be talking college hoops as we head towards March Madness. So if you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. We will see you next time on Big Game Energy.